So what's crazy? Oh, wait, you said it was a cry for. So the only reason why I did feel sentiment is because I do believe that there's a narrative that niggas are deadbeats, even when niggas really want to be. Okay, let me not say niggas. When men want to be good fathers,
right?
There's the narrative of a deadbeat father, and I think it excludes the narrative of the men that really want to be fathers,
right.
But the moms just don't want nothing to do with them, or honestly are what's the word? Disciplining, but not disciplining. Punishing. There we go. When they're punishing their partners because the relationship didn't work out, because they're getting a divorce. And it was crazy to me, and the narrative being that Kanye is a fucking billionaire and he still couldn't even have the address to his own daughter's birthday.
I look at it, I watched the video when he was in the car, right?
Talk to me.
And I saw that obviously I'm not a father, right? So there's a different empathy, or there's a different notion that I have towards it. I'm looking at it like, if you really, really gave a fuck, if you really, 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 really cared, it wouldn't be a social media moment. It wouldn't be a.
We talk about oversharing all the time,
right? It wouldn't be a narrative. It wouldn't be. Okay. It would just be you going to them, or you finding them, or you making an event for them, whatever the case is.
He claims he reached out to all the sisters.
That's not for us to know. That's not for us to know. Why should I care about Travis Scott giving you the address to your daughter's birthday party? Why should I care about I couldn't find the address, and
the fact that Tristan Thompson is there and he's not
of all
there.
people.
That's who you.
That's your source.
That's who you call.
Travis Scott was.
Here's my problem.
I don't get all of this.
Here's my problem. Okay.
With this. I just don't get it.
I'm not buying none of this
I'm not
shit. Buying the victim shit.
And,
and to me, only because no one has ever, under any circumstance, ever said that Kanye was not a good father. Ever. No matter how fucking crazy he comes across, no matter what he says, no matter what anybody has done. And also, to be really fucking fair, and I'm not a fan of the Kardashians. I'm not a stan for a lot. Yeah. I mean, I love Skims. I love Skims. Skims got some cute shit. Shout out
Every time I finally go to order, that should be sold out.
I got a couple things.
Oh, I wanted the Fendi collab. That's
I got a little Fendi onesie. It's fire.
You got one of the.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas. It's fire.
Jealous.
Thanks, babe. It was fire.
Damn! Shout out to your niggas.
How much money y'all getting?
Don't do that.
That was a Christmas gift. I didn't buy it for myself.
Don't do that.
It was
Calm
a
down.
gift.
It was a gift.
But either
First
way,
off, stop pointing at me.
It was
okay. But keep going.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, but I will say throughout this whole even like divorce strain process with their relationship, Kim has really shut the fuck up and has not said anything nasty about Kanye at all.
Shout out to Kim.
She's kept it really cute and above board.
The only thing she's done is found a new man.
Correct. Which also
is driving him crazy.
And the day before this birthday party, Kanye released a record threatening to beat his ass. Which, by the way, I will say, and I talked about this with my man, and he's a father, so he literally said Pete Davidson should not be at that child birthday party. First and foremost,
I agree. It's too early. It's way too soon.
It's not even just that it's too early. It's just there's too many factors, right? Like there's too many kids around. There's too many kids. Period. Within like the close reigns of the family, there's too much going on to have to explain. But also, if Kanye's not there, Pete doesn't need to be there. Like if you know what I'm saying, if you're not giving Kanye the address because he's having a manic episode and you don't want him to be a part of this moment, that's also something we don't know if that was communicated, right? We're only seeing Kanye be upset and have a tantrum about the fact that he doesn't have the address.
From what I read, they were supposed to be two separate events, right? It was supposed to be. This is what I read.
Yeah, that's what I read. It was
supposed to be Kim and Chicago, whatever they're doing, and then Kanye was supposed to pick her up or do a separate thing,
right?
With him and her, or whatever the case is. I think there's a lot of misinformation that we're getting. I think it's a don't narrative.
It's missing pieces.
It's like it's so many. This is why I don't like to get involved in shit like this, because like I'm not a father. I don't have kids. I don't know what this is like.
No, being in a relationship, right? It's manipulative to make a public statement.
But he does that. That's what he does.
But that to me completely invalidates your disposition at that point, because you're making it about you and not about your kid.
Right.
So now you're making it about changing the narrative about what the public thinks of you as a dad. Well,
which is why
Chicago is going to think that I'm not a good dad. Chicago is for. Chicago only wants to hit that fucking pinata. She don't care. She don't give a fuck about none of that.
Like, that
she wants what's in that pinata. She want to open her gifts. If you're there, great. If you're not, she'll see you later. You live across the street.
Initially, this is what I said. Like, yo, we don't need to know none of this shit.
Oh,
Right.
I don't need
this
any.
was his team taking this picture for sure. For sure. We see that he's also now having photographers follow him and his new woman. He also decided.
And then you doing that?
Well, we also didn't talk about in Freshly Squeezed, he dropped a new track with The Game where he name drops and says that he's going to beat Pete Davidson's ass.
That's
like,
what.
It's doing a
So
lot.
we don't know. We don't know the exchanges between him and Kim.
There's so many moving pieces that we shouldn't care about, that we don't need to care
But it's
about,
also
and we don't need
one,
to know.
and no one's questioning him being a father. There's
Yep.
never,
I
there's
never
no
heard
narrative.
that.
There's
Yeah,
no
I never heard
narrative
that.
ever that
Never
we've
heard
ever
that.
heard about him not being a
I've
great
heard
dad.
a lot of narratives about
Never.
Kanye. I've heard a lot of things musically, personally, politically.
Correct.
I've never heard anyone from the Kardashian side,
Nobody.
from his side, saying that he was a bad
He's not
father.
a deadbeat. And there's no way.
If I take anything away from Kanye and like he's not my favorite person, I know he looks like a good father.
He loves, he's
I
a
know
family
he loves
man.
his kid.
He's a family man. He's trying to keep his family together. He's been trying to keep his family
So that's
together.
why I don't buy none of this.
So it's like, well, and she's trying to, but also,
Like, bro,
but
you
also,
are who you are.
You are who you are, and I think
a narcissist.
Well, I think it's unfair.
They all are though.
Yeah, agreed.
They all are.
I think it's unfair to the kids to make a public spectacle about conversations that should be being had behind closed doors.
It should be private.
Yeah, I think that's the part that's rough because you have a child that's 10 year or like 9
and
years
can
old.
read this right now
who
in
can
the
see
shade
this
room.
and understand
She's
what's
seeing
going
this.
on. Like,
Bro, so
she's,
this is all right. So this is the thing that fucks me up. Mm-hmm. As much as I don't pay attention, I pay attention, right? So we know that, I think Kylie or like one of their daughters has like the little playhouse outside of the actual house.
Yeah.
So
It's Dream
I'm looking at that
or
house.
true.
Yeah,
True.
I'm looking at that
Travis,
house right
yeah.
there. That looks like the little playhouse that one of the little daughters has.
True. It's Travis and Kylie's baby.
So you know where they live.
Yeah.
So all this like, oh, they didn't give them the address.
It was in the backyard.
Bro, you know exactly where they are.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, what are you doing this for?
That's
Or
why
who
Travis was like, yo,
who are you-
nigga, pull up. It's at my house.
Right, like who are you doing this for?
Right. He's like, please get
Yeah.
the fuck off the
I
internet
don't
and just
know,
come to the
yeah.
party.
Yeah,
Just
like,
be in the
nigga, like,
backyard.
just shut the fuck up. We're in the backyard.
Yeah, like just pull up. Just get off the internet.
Like, and again, no one said you were a bad father, my G. Like,
Yeah.
we know you're a good father.
Which also is disappointing because we all know situations where there are actively women keeping
situations like that.
their
Yes,
kids
of
away
course.
from men who are trying to be active
Yeah,
fathers.
yeah,
That's not
yeah.
what this is.
Yeah,
that's
what-
not what this is.
That's what Lawrence
This is
was trying to
nothing
do.
like-
with
That's not what this
Condola.
is.
This is nothing like this.
Especially not when the rest of when everybody else out here making a fool out of the rest of the sisters. Except for Kylie and Travis have children and that's great. But
They're expecting one more.
they're expecting
The
no, they have
nigga hit
children.
Tristan Thompson. Really?
Yeah.
That's your point of reference?
Yeah.
Yo, my nigga, where the party at? Why are you still? All right, I'm good.
You should never
Yeah,
follow
like-
Tristan Thompson to whatever party Tristan Thompson going to.
No shit.
I'm good.
He gonna
Listen.
get you in trouble.
They need to
Anyway,
they need to put hot sauce in Tristan's content.
All right.
They need to just
okay.
put it right on
Put
his
it
dick.
yeah, because he don't wear condoms
Hey,
anyway.
Sorry.
Clearly, he don't.
Right.